Have you been looking for the best wine shop in the Charlotte area? Well, say no more. Today we're going to go into the newest Petit Philippe location here in Myers Park. We're going to meet with the owner. We're going to do an exclusive wine tasting. Let's go take a look. Well, hey, I'm sitting here with Mark Meissner of Petit Philippe. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for coming over. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're actually neighbors now in your new location.
I know.
Here in the Myers
I'm
Park
super
area.
excited.
We are as
Thrilled.
well. And
Yeah.
so you're the owner
Yes.
of Petit Philippe,
Yes.
and you have a rich history in the Charlotte area in
Thank you.
business.
Yes.
So I think really for us, I'd love to know a little bit about that history and,
Okay.
more about the background of the company, and we'll
Sounds
kind of have
good.
some conversation today. How's that sound?
I love it. Let's
Yeah.
do it. So I'm originally from San Francisco.
Okay.
Grew up out there. I worked in technology for many years. Went to school out there. I met my wife out there who's from North Carolina. So that's what brought me out this way. I lived in France for a few years. My parents are both from Europe. So that's where I got the wine bug in the late 90s. When I moved back, I started dabbling in winemaking in San Francisco. And then eventually my wife, once a Carolina girl, always a Carolina girl. So we came out this way to open this concept. Having been in the corporate world, I decided it was time to kind of do my own thing. So I was very passionate about wine. Actually, I have a finance background, so tried to couple together my interest in wine, winemaking, and finance. So retail was the natural choice. So we opened Petit Philippe in 2010. We moved out here immediately, opened that year. We were over on Selwyn Avenue for most of those years. And we focused on fine wine and chocolate at the time. My wife was a chocolate maker. But really it was to bring Charlotteans fine wine primarily from Western Europe, and certainly also the Western US. So being from California, obviously there was a big focus on California wines.
Yeah.
Over the years, we've moved and transitioned more into European.
Yeah, you're in this new location, as
Yes.
we mentioned. You guys opened up here recently in the Myers Park Road area. Beautiful store and concept. You kind of mentioned about the experience. When you walk in, you can definitely feel that it's set up for that. Tell us a little bit about why this area and what brought you here to this concept today.
So we're at 4001 Park Road now. We were over on Selwyn, not even a mile from here as the crow flies. We had been fantasizing about owning this building for many years, and when it came on the market, we were absolutely thrilled.
It's an old dry cleaner.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
The old Coachman Cleaners dry
Yep.
cleaner. Been here for 60 years, operated under a few different names over those 60 years, but basically is one of the few landmarks left in Charlotte. That's a mid-century classic modern building from the Gouget period. You probably remember like the In-N-Out burgers and all these great buildings that have great angles and juxtapositions of design on the outside and inside. So we kept all our original floors, and really that was pretty much it. Some of the fenestration is still here, but picture an old dry cleaning factory that really needed to be gutted. And so we spent 3 years. We bought the building in late 2020.
Okay.
And we didn't open until late 2023. So it was a 3-year project to get this building basically rebuilt. And it's been fantastic. We went from 1,500 square feet to 5,000 square feet.
What do you have going on here? Like what's kind of, and obviously a retail shop, you've got some great wines here, but that's not it. I think a lot of people confuse, wine shops and that kind of thing of just being that. You guys do so much more. What do you have kind of going on? You hit some of it there.
Yes. So great question. We don't really consider ourselves a wine bar, although a lot of people do come here to enjoy a tasting or a glass of wine. Really, we try to do a number of things outside of the classic sell a bottle of wine that you might consume at home. You can come here and try a different flight of wines.
Okay.
So that's usually 3 to 4 different wines. We either focus on a producer, on an area, like a wine appellation, or a grape variety, like it might be just about Pinot Noir. Last weekend we focused on one region in Italy. Might even be a blind flight challenge. So you can come in and your job is to sort of figure out what's in the glass. And that might be either price driven, variety driven, or something else that could be fun and playful. But really the opportunity is to get to know clients. at the tasting room. And so our showroom, I think, speaks for itself in terms of what we sell, in terms of fine wine from Europe and the Western US, but all these other flight programs, and then the events that we do with winemakers. Tonight we have a winemaker here from Napa, which will be great. That happens every week, and it changes every week.
So last thing, before we go taste some wine, because that's what I'm most
Fantastic.
excited about,
I'm
other than
with you.
talking to
Let's
you,
do
of
it.
course.
Yeah,
but anything that you want to leave that maybe just a little insight to anything you have coming, or anything that you're thinking about, or big event that you have coming?
Sure, so we usually have a larger tasting event every quarter.
Okay.
So we just had a big event focused on the wines from France, and in particular Burgundy, which is what I chose for our tasting today.
Okay.
That was sort of aligned with Bastille Day. That was just last month, and you'll find we'll do something similar right around fall harvest. Typically that's Italy focused. We have a couple producers coming next month. We have a great producer called Papa Pietro Perry. They're in the Dry Creek part of Sonoma Valley. We have the owners here. All that information is on our website if you're looking for specific dates and tickets. So some things will be dinners coming up, some things will be these grand tastings.
That's fantastic. I'm gonna have to find out more about it so I can get over here. We're not that far away too. So I'd love to taste what you have picked
Let's
out
do
for
it.
us today. So we'll jump right into that.
Perfect.